All right, here is a model if you want to communicate with anybody, children, teenagers, adults. It's called the SWAN method. 4 basic questions that everybody is constantly asking themselves. I'm going to share this with you, but real quick, I'm going to share with you a story. When I was in Spain, in La Senda, I was teaching some 5th graders, and this girl, Sophia, came into the classroom. She was crying, right? It was one of those fearful tears, like she was scared, really shaken. And so I asked her, I said, hey, what's going on? You okay? So I got down on her level, always meet her eye to eye, and I started regulating my breathing with her. And she was struggling to get the words out. English, of course, was her second language. I told her, I said, I understand Spanish. It's okay, you can tell me in Spanish. And then she goes, and she expressed herself, right? And I was like, I was there nodding, meeting her where she is. She needed to get it out. And I told her, I said, okay, so what I understand is you just took a math test and you got your grade back, and you're scared to go home because you don't know what your father's gonna do because of your grade. She's like, yeah. So then what I did was I shared with her a story. I shared with her my story. I just realized there was so much background noise, so I went and I got my microphone. So I shared with her my story, and I said, you know what? The only F I ever received was when I was in 5th grade, just like you. And it's true, Miss Dutcher, Miss Karen Dutcher. You always remember the good teachers' first and last names. She taught the GATE program at Jefferson Elementary in Riverside. She said, Marcus, you have such wonderful ideas, such beautiful ideas, but you didn't turn in any work. And because you didn't turn in any work, I can't give you a grade. And she was right, because one thing about me was I was always insecure about my spelling. My spelling was atrocious. So then I told Sophia, I said, now check it out. I love words. Like, this is what I do. I share words with people and I help them with their communication. I asked, do you understand this story? She's like, yeah. And I said, you have a lot of life ahead of you. And I know you're afraid and you're scared and you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. It's just a snapshot. That's how we always used to talk about grades. It's just a moment, and I understand why you feel how you do. And you're gonna come over this. You're gonna get beyond this. So how does that relate to the SWAN questions? SWAN. That's what they are. Those 4 things that will help you communicate with anyone as you become aware of them in the human experience. All right, let me jump on my computer and I'll show you. If you're out there, Sophia, I hope you're doing well. Boom, they are here. However, I've put them in a handy dandy Canva. All right, let's jump on the computer, make this a little bit fancy. All right, this is based on Brent Charlton's work of the Ego State Matrix. It's built upon Pia Melody's work of childhood origins of emotional dysfunction, childhood wounds. These are the driving fundamental questions of all humanity. As you communicate, if you're a copywriter, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, these are things worth keeping in mind. It's a pretty cool model. I put the model together like this. He does it a different way, but I spell it as the SWAN questions, all right? First question is safety. Am I safe? When we are children, we are exposed. We're open to the elements, everything comes in, it stresses us. Everything that eventually grows must first break, so there's nothing wrong with stress. It's how we interpret it. Yet, child safety does come first, so we protect our children, and in them protecting themselves, they block everything off, all stresses off as rebellious teens. That's when they start saying, no, we don't want any stress, and they lash out against it. Now, as we become mature adults, we understand and allow certain stressors into our lives, and we set up boundaries. Boundaries as your mental boundaries, your time boundaries, your social boundaries. You know that you're in a safe place, so you can know what you allow into your life and what you don't allow into your life. And it's almost like a cloud or nebulous barrier. In Stoicism, we call it our inner citadel. However, as you have that margin space, that's where we get to actually see other people's ideas and how they relate and see more of ourselves. So boundaries and needs, they're related. We'll see as we go on. Question of worth is, am I worthy of being? Now, worthy of being is different from having a skill set. Everybody is worthy of being. You're here, you're having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having human experiences. However, as a child, we think our abilities actually determine our worth, and we feel less than. Kids have less skills than us, but that doesn't mean they're not worthy of being here, right? So they feel less than. To compensate for that, they lash out and they start to think they're greater than. Especially when you know what the adults are saying it's wrong, or it's not speaking to your experience, or it's going contrary to what you believe and what you know. I love teens, man. They have all the knowledge with no life experience. I was a teenager too, right? When in actuality, we are equal. We are equal in the sense of we're here living life from different perspectives. But for grace, there go I too with another person. However, here, am I worthy of being? It's a question of self-esteem or self-worth. How do they talk to themselves? Be mindful of the voice with which you speak with children, for in time that becomes a voice with which they speak to themselves, right? And worth is actually closely related to ability. Am I able to grow my abilities? Now, as kids, we lack skills. We can't walk. Sometimes we can't feed ourselves. We can't talk. And if we think we're fixed at that place, we have a fixed mindset of lacking skills. Teenagers, when they rebel, they say, look, I don't want to be judged, I don't want to be known, but I'm perfect. I'm better than you, I'm perfect because I'm not a kid. But you can have a fixed mindset and be a high achiever. Interesting. If you are a mature adult, you know I will increase, I will also be knocked down, I will get back up, and this is how we grow. So this is our growth mindset. Am I safe? Am I worthy? Am I able to grow my abilities? The last one is, am I able to meet my needs? Now, everybody with kids knows kids are very needy. They need your attention, they need your time, they need you to affirm them, they need to be witnessed. Everybody needs those two things, to be witnessed and to be approved of, to say, I see you and I understand it makes sense to you. Doesn't mean it's right in our value system, but I see you and I understand why you're doing it like that. All right, so kids are needy. When you're a rebellious teen, you push away. You say, I don't need you. I can do it on my own. We move from dependence into independence. When we grow into a mature adult, we see our interdependence. Touching on Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication, I'm aware of my needs. I know that I'm responsible for meeting my needs. And I know that I can't by myself meet all my needs. I can't make an iPhone. I can't do certain things such as this and that, which is why we create relationships to say, I will serve you as you serve me. We're here for relationships. Most definitely, relationships are a big part of our life. But as we're going through life, if you're mindful of these 4 questions people are constantly asking themselves, these are always going on in our mind. Am I safe? Am I worthy? Am I able to grow? And am I able to meet my needs? You'll see that people fall somewhere on this matrix, and we're trying to move them towards maturity so that we can have healthy relationships and relationships of well-being. But imagine this, if we taught boundaries, if we taught self-worth, and as we see ourselves worthy, we reflect that with others and seeing them as being worthy. If we taught growth mindset, if we taught interdependence in our relationships, imagine if from a child, you were taught you are safe, you are worthy of being, you're able to grow, and you are able to meet all your needs. Whenever you face the challenge, because the only way we grow is through our challenge. Imagine if you could answer those in the affirmative, all of those. And that's what I plan to do. This is my life's work. It is to be a copywriter for parents, that you might tell your kids these words of you are safe, you are worthy, you're able to grow, and you're able to meet your needs through interdependent relationships. I want you to teach your kids these words through your stories and through the words you share with them. I'm gonna help you with my poetry and everything that I put out. All my words are to create a world of well-being. Having traveled the world of where I've taught, that's what I want to speak to. I want to speak to our humanity, the human spirit. Empathy is one thing that's missing in a lot of our communications, and that is what the essence of our communication is. I taught in the humanities because it is us learning how to be human. All right, the SWAN questions, they're gonna come through and through all my work. If you've made it this far, thank you. Sophia, if ever you see this video, you are safe. My microphone turned off, so all I gotta say is the word is love. Spread the word. Peace.